This is the first time I'll be trading the Bitcoin markets and traders, and this is going to be the first time I'll be applying my trading strategy on the Bitcoin markets. And my trading strategy is still the market mechanics that I learned from my mentor, the trading geek, or Brad Go. So I want to apply the strategy that I learned from my mentor based on this Bitcoin market right now. So currently, what is the bias of price? So let me just quickly explain the confluences that I see on this trade before I know either to buy or sell. So currently I can see that during 1 hour price is making series of let me say higher highs and higher lows, right? Price has been making higher highs, higher low. Okay, so price make higher, not, this is not another higher high, but okay, price, this is the next high because this is the zone at which it breaks structure, isn't it? So this is the last high. Okay, so this is the last high, and currently if we look at the left hand side, there is a supply zone that price is actually respecting. Can you see this zone right there? So this zone right there is where price is currently. So based on this zone that price is trading at currently, so what is the bias of price? Now, even at 1 hour time frame, we can see that we have a valid break of structure. Okay, we have a valid break of structure to the upside. So let me just bring it up here like this. Okay, so it means that we have higher highs, higher low, then we have a new high here. So but right now you can see that price managed to push all the way down, breaking this low. All right, so and when this happen, and because this is a higher time frame, okay, because price actually reacts like this on the higher time frame, so it is a very strong market shift that actually happened. So if I come down to 15 minutes right now, what are we going to expect? Okay, so right now this is 15 minutes time frame, right? So let me just mark up my 15 minutes supply zone starting from this level right there. So this is 15 minutes supply zone here, 15 minutes supply zone. And do we have another supply zone here? Yeah, I think we do, but this is the internal supply zone and this is the first supply zone that we have around here. So traders, it simply means that price is not moving in an uptrend right now. Price is about to sell to the downside. So where is going to be our entry? All right, so if I want to use Fibonacci for this zone, all right, to mark up my premium and discount zone, all right, so right now starting from this point right here to this place, so this is the premium zone. Okay, all the way from here to this below here is the premium zone. So this zone and this zone is the discount zone that we may look to sell this trade. So and you see that currently there is a fair value gap that is inside this zone right here. Okay, there is a fair value gap here, although I don't usually trade fair value gap, right? I don't trade fair value gap, but based on the Fibonacci that I just used right now, okay, you can see that Fibonacci actually suggests that could be our premium, that could be our discount zone. So we might, okay, in fact we can just set our sell stop order around this zone, and our stop loss above here, right? Our stop loss above here, because the thing is we have about less than 30 minutes that the London session is going to start. Okay, so and I know that price is going to react. Okay, but one thing for sure is that I know that price is going to reverse, probably to let me just delete this. I know that price is going to react to this zone or this zone right there. All right, I just know that. So and I think I'm seeing something right there, so let me just mark up all this zone with this green candle right there. So price will simply respect either this zone or this zone before it starts selling to the downside. So this is my trade bias based on this market reaction. Okay, so and my take profit is going to be somewhere around this zone. Okay, I just want to take it short because price is actually in an uptrend. Okay, price is actually in an uptrend, so I can set my take profit around there. Okay, so let us see how this Bitcoin market is going to play out very soon. All right, Bitcoin finally come true for me, and you can see this is the first time I'll be trading the Bitcoin market ever in my life. And I just think that okay, I should test my trading strategy on Bitcoin. And like for like let me say 1 month ago, I actually think that okay, all this time that I have started to trade the gold market, I just think that let me just find another pair that I can trade alongside with gold. That okay, based on different pairs with their different market condition. So I just decided that okay, let me just look for another currency that I can be trading alongside with gold. And I just decided that okay, let me just go for BTC. Okay, and before I even go for BTC, I actually did some back testing. Okay, I did some back testing, and I see that okay, if I apply my trading strategy on BTC as well, I think BTC is going to come true for me. Okay, so I decided to just trade this BTC yesterday, and you can see this morning now it's almost eating my TP. All right, and even though I have exited this trade and I have my reasons, but you can see how smooth this price action is. That is one thing that I want you to learn, because trading is not random. I will always say that it is not random. It's moving structure, and leaving trades to run from yesterday up to this morning is another thing. Like, let me see the duration that this trade actually take all the way from this entry down to this place is about 16 hours. Can you see that? 16 hours 30 minutes. Leaving trade to run for good 16 hours 30 minutes. It is it is beyond beginner level. Yeah, it is beyond beginner level, because most of the things that we did when we were learning about how to trade is that when we place a trade, we'll be checking it up and down that it should quickly move to my TP, it should quickly move to my TP. But you can imagine, can you wait for 16 hours? Can you wait for 16 hours? Be checking your chart all the time for 16 hours. And you can see this trade took about 17 hours before it come to my TP zone. And it is a great thing. It is a gift that when you are learning how to trade, you must learn to trust your process. You must learn to trust your process, to leave your trade to run to your TP. All right, so let me just quickly explain the reason why I take my profits at this zone. All right, because today is Friday, and I know that today being Friday, there is and because I trade sessions, and because today is Friday, I know that there is no often volatility in the market. So I actually check my 1 hour time frame, and I see that I have a demand zone around here. Yeah, I have a demand zone around there. You can see this red candle. Okay, this red candle, that is the mini demand zone, internal demand zone that we have. Now, can you see? So you can see that immediately price tap into this zone. Okay, immediately price tap into this zone, price wants to keep reversing to the upside. You can see that movement. So, and that is the reason why I actually exit this trade, because I know that anytime from now, because we are in London session right now, and anytime from now down to New York session, I know that price may want to reverse. Okay, and that is why I actually take my profit at this zone. And traders, I made about, let me show you. Okay, let me show you. I made about symbol. Okay, so you can see I made about 100, and this is $75, right? But I have two funded accounts. That I'm trading. So that means 75 by 2. The plug is silent. So this is 75 75 times 2, that's about $150 on this Bitcoin market. Traders, anything is possible in the financial markets. Anything is possible, and I just believe that I'm going to trade this funded account with discipline. I'm ready to grow this account. Like, I'm so much ready to be a good manager, and that's something that that inspire me so much. And I also want it to also inspire you, because without depending on anybody's signal, without depending on indicators, without depending on AI trading for you or copy trading, you being able to do this on your own is a gift. And that is something that trading will actually teach you if you want to learn how to trade independently. Because I know that I didn't just get to this place. I have I've had losing streak back in the days. I've had losing streak, not until I actually learned the right way. I learned how trading work, and I'm simply applying what I learn. Okay, I'm simply applying what I learn, and what I learned. so what I'm saying in essence is that this time around I'm focusing on executing my trading plan, and you can see, without fear or emotion. It's not that I didn't have emotion when I entered this trade. The emotion is there, but there is this level for you to actually trust your trading plan, because when you are working with good trading plan, you are not gambling. What you are doing is you are trading with discipline. You are trading with a good risk management, and that is what I am actually doing on this trade. In fact, I'm only using 1% of my account to trade this financial market. You can imagine, I'm only using $100 across my two funded accounts. I'm using $100, and on this trade I've made about $150. So traders, I just know that this is going to be a great experience, and I'm so much ready to experience this trading, to pass this account and to begin to trade to profitability. So traders, I'm just here to encourage you to learn how to trade. If you don't know how to trade, you can leverage on my channel. Go and check my live trade, check my my funded account playlist as well. I know that you are just going to learn a lot from that. So traders, I'm glad that I hit this TP, and I'm encouraging you to take your time to learn it. Okay, and I believe that we all are going to be a profitable trader in the long term. So I hope that you stay true to yourself. I hope that you keep learning. I hope you keep adjusting as I'm doing, and I know that everything is going to fall in place for all of us. So traders, take care of yourself.